Hello, hello. Welcome to today's episode of Care Sandwich. I'm Margarita, your host, and I have Kristen Pitts coming up to the virtual stage here in a second. But first, check out this video.
Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Eberline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care.
Hello, hello. Welcome back. I want to invite Kristen Pitts to join me on the virtual stage. Come on. How's it going?
It's going well. Good to be here. How are you?
I am great. You're looking fabulous as always. And I'm excited to interview you today so that you can tell everybody what you're all about. So tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Sure thing. Well, I'm Kristen Pitts and I am the founder and CEO of KP Law Group. We are a boutique personal injury law firm and we pride ourselves on fierce and fearless representation. Me personally, I am a lawyer with over 20 years of legal experience. I am also a neutral or mediator, so I do alternative dispute resolution at Miles Mediation. So I get to see things from both sides of the coin, which I think has really been helpful in my practice. And I guess about the law firm, we are built on principles of resilience and integrity. And like I said, making sure that, our clients get fierce and fearless representation, which for us means that, we're going to fight like girls. Which means, we're fighting hard and making sure that our clients get the absolute best care, empathy, and representation possible in our personal injury space.
So Kristen, what's your story? How did you get into the personal injury space, or how did you get into law? Like what happened?
Yeah, so the what happened story is kind of funny. Growing up, my dad really, really wanted me to be a doctor. So like everything that I was,
This is just like being a doctor.
This is like
people bleed all over.
There's still a lot of bleeding. You're absolutely right. And a lot of, fixing that happens here. But so I think that I was always just good at writing, and I've always liked to argue a little bit. And so it's funny, the college that I went to, I think it puts out a lot of doctors, and he was still hopeful all the way up to the end. And finally I had to, this was my first time to stand up for myself and say, you know what, I have to go pursue my dream and not your dream for me. And so that's actually how I ended up making the change. And then as soon as I went to law school, I knew that I wanted to be a litigator. I had ended up, because I didn't volunteer, ended up being on a mock trial team with some dear friends of mine, one of whom is now a judge. She persuaded us all to join the team. And I'm like, oh man, fell in love with it. I think that the passion that she had rubbed off on the rest of us on the team. And in fact, I believe everybody who was on our team is a litigator now. So, and
wow.
we won. So, yeah.
That's really cool. And you have to have a very specific set of skills because, and this is what I've learned observing as an outsider, you have to be good at arguing, but also still be soft enough to be likable.
Absolutely. There's a fine line there.
How do you balance those two sides? Give us some advice for somebody that might be listening that's thinking, you know what, I want to be a litigator too. This is where I want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think you really hit, the nail on the head, Margarita. It's like for me, what it is I get passionate about the fight. I get passionate about, I really get to know my clients. And in getting to know them and actually speak with them and go, to site visits with them or to their homes to really get a feel of who they are. I start to take on their problem and fully invest in it. And so that brings out the advocate and the fight in me. But then the other side of that is the
So it's
connection.
real. It's real.
Yeah,
It's not just the
it's
show
real.
that you're putting on. Yeah, that's amazing.
Absolutely. It's real. And so, yeah, the other side of it is that's where the empathy comes from. The kind of, I think the compassion that is necessary to do a good job. And to really, if you're trying a case, make sure that the jury can connect with you because you really have a connection with your client that you are imparting on the jury.
I think many attorneys get burnt out by that process that you described of really truly connecting. And it's understandable, right? Because it's a big emotional undertaking to connect like that so that that fire, that fierceness can be real. It's legitimately you protecting a friend at that point, right? But
Absolutely.
emotionally, I imagine it can get exhausted. And I've seen it in really amazing attorneys that at some point they just kind of start building walls around themselves. How do you manage that so that like you connect, you empathize without losing yourself, without getting overwhelmed? Because it's a little dance to get there.
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
Boy, that's the $1 million question. I am not even going to tell you that I have that figured out. I'm still a work in progress with regard to that. But I will say that just as hard as you fight, you've got to take care of yourself. So things that I do to kind of help me to stay connected to self, because it's hard for me to connect with others if I'm disconnected from self. I work out every morning. My trainer and I are buddies. And so, we get to laugh about life and enjoy the workout. And it is something that I look forward to in my day, and it gets the day going. I'm a spa girl. I go to the spa and, I get to get that kind of release and relaxation. And then for me, what helps me to stay internally connected and grounded is giving back. And so I do a lot of volunteer work. And so that helps me to feel like I'm serving a purpose that's greater than, just existing, that I'm helping to make the world a better place. I know that might sound kind of, flowery, but I mean that, everywhere that I go. Okay, well then you relate. I like to leave, every place that I go to better than how it was when I came, and I mean that for the world as well. My intent is to certainly leave an imprint, and leave a legacy, and leave this world better than it was when I came into it.
I love that. And I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and it's a scary time, for a lot of people. And what you just said reminded me of a conversation I was having with a friend where I was like, you know what? I think some of us are just playing a different game. Like some people get really excited and will overlook like character and whatever because, oh, that person has outward success. They have money, so they must be somebody I should follow, or they have power, or they have a title, or they have whatever. And like, I love all that stuff too, and I know you can relate to this. Like, we respect hard work. Like when you got something that you worked for, we respect that in other people. But I think some people really are in this journey for character development where that other stuff is secondary. What's primary is who are you as a person, and what you just described reminded me of that, like one of my friends, she always says, God is the CEO of my business. And so she makes really weird decisions sometimes And I get it because I know that's the game she's playing. It's not the outward thing. And so I think that that's important because it really centers it centers your energy on something bigger than you, which in the end, I feel like makes you a more relaxed, like open, loving, go with the flow, healthy person. So you can actually enjoy the success, right? Because we're still all about the success.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good advice, Kristen. And what an inspiration that, you know, you're about having meaning and you're about giving back. You're about taking care of yourself. What's a piece of advice that you got early in your career? Because I bet there was a crossroads, right? Where you could have gone down the other path and just focused on the grind, the hustle, you know, and become a workaholic. And, you know, what happened when I'm assuming that when you came into that crossroads, because we all do, right? What happened? What helped you stay centered? Was it a family member or?
Well, you know, so I think the crossroads for me was starting the law firm. So I definitely have always been kind of, I guess, a workaholic. I like to work. I enjoy the work that I do and enjoy looking after people and and I enjoy getting a good result. I love the win too. I do love the win. And so I actually was working with some ladies who were like, hey, you know, like you have been able to make, you know, several law firms successful or better places. Why don't you, you know, do this on your own? And I'm like, I have zero interest in doing this on my own. Like I like helping other people and making their businesses grow and that sort of thing. But I think it was the fact that those ladies believed in me and saw something that I didn't even see in myself, to the point where they offered to help me start the business and, you know, even said that they would do so without pay. Now, when people are volunteering to do stuff without pay, you got to look and see. You're like, I must really have something here that I need to really, really look at and sift through and see what I can make of it. And to be honest with you, it was because of those ladies and their commitment and their vision that they had that made me want to work hard to make the business work, because I wanted to give back to them and to make them proud of the decision that we had made together. So that was really the crossroads and the inspiration for me, because I never, ever planned to have my own law firm. And now I cannot imagine what life would have been like had we not taken this leap of faith.
So Kristen, walk us through what sorts of cases you like to work on the most, and then how can people get in touch with you if there's an attorney, law firm listening, thinking, you know, this is going to be somebody that I'm going to refer cases to moving forward. What are those cases?
Absolutely. We handle everything that involves personal injury. So anytime that a person is injured by the negligence of another, be that a car accident, that's probably the most common, pedestrian accidents, if you've been hit while you were walking, motorcycle accidents, slip and fall accidents, if you slip or trip in a business, or even sometimes, depending on the circumstances, on a road or in a parking lot. Dog bite cases, if you've been bitten by a dog. So we handle anything you can think of, any way anybody can be injured. We handle those types of cases. And as far as referrals, what'd you say?
Physically injured, not your feelings, right? Like physically.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about your feelings being hurt, unless it's accompanied by an injury. Then that's a whole other thing. But yes, so physical injuries we specialize in. And as far as referral partners, we always welcome referrals and make sure that we take good care of folks, because we know that you are entrusting your good name to us. So we want to make sure that we make you proud and keep you updated and make sure that folks are well taken care of in our care.
So what's your website, phone number? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we can be reached on our website, which is thekplawgroup.com. You can also reach us on Instagram at KP Law Group, and the phone is still the best old-fashioned way to get in touch with us and get a live person on the phone to speak with. And you can reach us at 404-551-4727.
Yes, definitely check out Kristen's social media. Her social media manager is awesome. I really, really think she does really great work, and it's fun stuff. So check that out as well. And there you have it. Refer cases, personal injury, physical personal injury cases. There you have the website, the phone number. And Kristen, I have one more question for you, and it's a fun one. And it's called Care Sandwich Podcast. So I always ask every guest, what is your favorite sandwich?
Ooh, my favorite sandwich. It is a sandwich that I haven't had in many, many years, and they have it at this restaurant in Memphis where I'm from. But it's called a Monte Cristo. And it's like, have you heard of the Monte Cristo? Yeah, I forget where it originates, but it's
there's
like
butter on it. I like it.
Right. And it's like it's a nice little sweet and savory mix. And it's pretty. And so I feel like that's me, sweet and savory.
That's fun. Oh my gosh, Kristen, what a pleasure. Folks, I hope you get in touch with her the next time that you have a personal injury case. If it's not what you do, you have somebody that you can trust that's going to care for your clients like you would. So don't hesitate. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Care Sandwich, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.